Hey, what's going on, guys? I wanted to break down some of the midday action and take a look at everything that we're seeing. So QQQ is still red, down by about 0.24%. We had a bit of a gap down this morning, which is getting bought up. We're still within that range of Friday's nasty sell candle. 2 days off the low. First day to get a fall through day would be Thursday. The potential for that. All right, day three, day four, yeah, day four, Thursday or Friday will be the first days. You look for between day 4 and day 10 for that to occur. But it's nice here, as long as we kind of hold, around this 580, 582 to 580 flat spot. We can probably see some dislocation in stocks and things stand out. IWM is acting really nicely today. This is up almost 1%, well above well above the middle of the range compared to the Qs, right? And today it held that 245-ish spot. That's the highs from 2021 and 2024. So I do really like that. Unsure yet whether the market is just working off some of those oversold breath conditions in the near term, kind of how we did in March of 25 last year. Would not like to see some sideways action to work off those breath conditions and then get a sell down afterwards. That would imply that we're getting a pretty significant and heavy and painful second leg in the market down. But for now, right, what's true now is true now. And we can see some separation of stocks continue to occur. We can get that fall through day as soon as the end of the week. Energy stocks continue their bid up. XLE is up pretty significantly, 2.7%. I want to pull up the financials here. This is nice to see, up 0.5%, not making a new low. Even Friday didn't make a new low. So this is on what is this, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. This is on Thursday that it made the lows, so showed a little bit of relative strength on Friday. So I like to see it because this has been quite the painful group right now, well below the 200-day moving average. So nice to see it kind of separate and stand out. And we've got some IGV weakness, some software weakness coming in today, kind of led by Microsoft, and a few others. Is down 3.6%. Not great to see. As this kind of held up the Qs a little bit over the past, if you want to call it that, since it bottomed, before the rest of the market at the end of February. Similarly with IBIT, showing some pretty decent relative weakness again today, or not again today, for the first time really in quite a bit. It's looking like a big old bear flag, and these kind of IGV and IBIT kind of led the market down. But I want to get into some individual stocks. So I entered some of that AEHR yesterday. The sin at 39. I got in just over 36. Sorry, just under 37 actually. And towards the end of the day, we got a nice red to green here at the open. It's just a really nice setup here. If you dial in on the hourly, let me just clean this up a little bit here. If you just dial in on this hourly chart, you've got all these MAs stacked right here, and we were looking at this hourly higher low. Gave a nice pop yesterday, started to go sideways, and then it opened, dipped in, confirmed that support, went red to green. So we've got a clear area to risk off of presence of buyers. So I moved my stop immediately up to 36 as we went red to green, and now essentially my work on the trade is done. Because we got the entry, we got our stop clearly defined. The next job on this is will be our first trim to kind of size down from overweighted in the new position to kind of comfortable to where we can scale and trail it. So I'll be looking for that first bear gap spot around 4120, 4130-ish, and then right around this bear gap fill as well, depending on how it acts, up about 4250. Ideally that's the first spot that we'll be able to take off a partial. I'll take off probably, I might go a third, just given the market conditions, but most likely I'll go 1/4 or 1/5 of my position up near there to lock that in, move stop to break even. Right now we're only risking about 2% on the trade, so pretty insignificant risk, which is very very comfortable. PL post earnings is starting to pull back here. Had to push up to 35. This is fine. And I'm really curious as to how it trades. I wouldn't mind. Oops, let me just kind of fix this up a little bit. I have no idea how this is going to act post earnings. This is like its fourth or fifth earnings gap up in a row. So I'm curious. I've got a 50-day trailing stop on it right now. Depending if it really comes back in, I might not even wait for the 50-day. I might just take profits on it completely. I'm long from 1240, so my job's essentially done on it for all intents and purposes. FSLY continues to be the best stock in the market. Just a nice tight inside day today. Stair-stepping higher. Tapped 30 in the after hours yesterday. Currently trailing the 20 MA on this right now, which is at about 23. So worst case scenario, you're looking at a $7 per share gain on this, and then I'd love to be able to trail the 50-day at some point. Into the action of today, MRVL is pulling back a little bit off of highs, but there's another perfect example of that go signal at bull gap support. Right, we've got the daily chart that we know what we're looking for. Right, we've got this, this earnings gap up, this consolidation. We've got the oops reversal at the 20 MA. This was a great spot to enter, in the 86 to 88 region last week Thursday, and then I don't mind waiting for a higher low to kind of prove that. And we got this push yesterday, kind of confirmed that bull gap support, and then today we get the gap down red to green with the 9, the 20, the 50 hourly MAs all stacked right there in that daily setup that we're looking for, right? And that's everything that I want to see, right? That's clear, confirmed area to risk off of down at this line right there. If it goes below that line, you stop out. And then the entry signal is, basically as quickly as you can recognize it, as early as you can recognize it, and as much as you want to size and risk in it. You can buy this at, $89. You can buy it at $90, $91, everywhere in between. You're just risking too low. So whatever equals that risk on your account that you're willing to put in, that's what you can do. LWLG, I don't think this is quite ready yet for a new position today. I really like this on Thursday. Again, the hold of the top of this base around $6. Friday it had an inside day. Yesterday we got a bullish engulfing candle. Today we just got an inside candle. We're sitting right at the HVC here today, which is let me see here, 708. On it right now, so we're sitting right around there. We're rejecting the 750 spot. Right? If we put our Amit Rai high volume edge hat on, seen it, continue to reject 750 and build and tighten up as the moving averages, continue to support it below, and buyers continue to step in and kind of define that that range here is positive. So keep this on your list. VG continues to stand out and trend with a variety of other stocks. Dell continues to be a monster. I had this on 326 and ended up getting stopped out about it at 141 and got stopped out at 140 or something, and then it came down to 137, and I was going to rebuy it, but ended up just getting too fast, and then gave a nice signal again on Thursday, that gap down red to green. That you could have bought on a reclaim of previous day low. You could have bought on the hold of the HVC at 148.08 and everywhere in between. And if you did have a position in this, it's giving you no reason to sell yet whatsoever. And it is at 52-week highs while the market's living below the 200-day moving average. That's relative strength, if you ever ask me. And then right? There's a theme here. All these earnings gappers. Right, pay attention to them. It's quite literally all you need is good themes, good setups, earnings gappers, news PRs. Right, we split our watch list into those three categories: earnings gappers, right, emerging setups and emerging themes, and then leadership and relative strength. Right, and you should be able to group what they are. Sometimes those earnings gappers are the leaders in relative strength, right? So they can cross over. GLW, nice move today, is up 9%, remounting the MAs, taking out this little mini range right here, around 135. There's a nice setup. I wanted this to tap the 50-day. I probably could have bought this today, but it is what it is. ALY, another one that this one I actually 100% should have bought yesterday. I was watching it. I had alert at previous day low at like $86. Like $85. It didn't quite come down and trigger under yesterday's low. It came awfully close. I should have bought this yesterday. Good job to some people in the chat for mentioning it. And then today I was really hoping we'd get that same hourly setup that we got on MRVL and on what do you call it, AEHR, to kind of give that confirmation around 89ish. And red to green and hourly launch pad, but we just didn't get it. So I'm kind of bummed about that. That would have been a really low hanging fruit, a little easy one. And then Circle's down 20% today, following news that something about the Clarity Act, not allowed to make treasury money or yields on their reserve money in treasuries, only on transactions or something like that. So it's down 20%. Pretty serious thing. Change. So I'm gonna have to look into that a little bit more. I'm still very, very bullish on Circle, and hope this leads to opportunity. But that's a nasty candle, so we're gonna have to take a look at this. mRNA is one I think that I would probably classify as emerging, not quite thematic and strong enough to be one of the leaders, but it's definitely showing relative strength. Nice setup, and something that I would consider to be an emerging potential emerging setup. BTU really strong today. Coal, chemicals really strong today with energy and stuff. BTU's up 10%. LXU, another one of those chemical stocks, up quite a bit after a nice shallow flag. I've got SKM on there. Not sure what the news was this morning, but here I can just go take a look if this had any news. Oh, I gotta add it to my widget. I'll do that later. But you can just use the DeepView terminal to ask what is going on. Has some agriculture stocks, right? We got the photonics that are leading it, right? That GLW stuff. TER, one of the relative strength leaders, doing well. SOLS, I'm tracking this. I'm gonna need to see a little bit more signal from it to get interested and involved. Again, can be as simple as just a nice clean hourly higher low, which we could get as soon as tomorrow. Maybe it gave it today around $70, but this kind of knockout bar on Friday took my eyes off it. So it is what it is, which I'm totally cool with. I've taken a couple losses on it already. Powell, Chartmaster's been all over this. VRT had a nice little undercut at the 20 MA. I think this is later stage though, so I'm not as interested in this. I mean, we were trading this, when it was $40 and $50. I do think this is probably later stage. We'll see. Maybe I should be paying attention to it a little bit more than I am, but you are what you eat. Anything else that we need to go over? A couple other things I'm watching. I'm still tracking this Q for an hourly higher low. Right there. Could give it to us as soon as today or tomorrow. NBIS still tracking as well. Not exactly sure what I want to see on this. It's not acting super great. Not acting super great right now. DOCN, AKAM, relative strength leaders. MU, I was thinking about trying MU at this little gap fill spot at 390, thinking, maybe it undercuts and reclaims a 50 SMA here. That would have been really awesome to see, like I said, around this, 390 level, which it did come into there, but we haven't gotten that push off of it yet. Might still, be tracking it. Net, nice relative strength stock. Carmen, Kava, AMPX, Figs, Ring, Blue Sky. Yeah, that's about my list here, guys, of the stuff that I'm looking through. Don't blow your loads. Don't do nothing stupid. Just keep it simple on your setups and your risk, and don't watch the market too much, guys. Don't watch the indexes too much. Don't be too concerned with all the stupid headlines we're getting. Just take a breath. Focus on yourself. Focus on your entry tactics. Focus on improving your approach just a little bit. And get ready. Maybe we get a second leg down in the market. Maybe we get a bunch of sideways still. And maybe we get a V-shape bull market that lasts the next 2 years. Who the hell knows? Not me. But focus on yourself and what you're going to do and how you're going to behave and what sort of repeatable patterns and approach that you want to implement for a long time, for your career, for the rest of your trading participation. That's what it's all about. So you're never going to be able to think about it. You know, for the next 20, 30 years, you're not going to be able to call every top, every bottom, and every move in between, right? You're going to get a lot of moves wrong. You're going to have an assumption, a scenario about the market, and you're going to get a lot of things wrong. You're going to think we're in a raging bull market and the stock market dumps. You think we're in a standard correction and we enter a bear market, right? You think we're in, easy-go-lucky, euphoric rally and things pull back. You think we're never going to have a green day again and things push up, right? You're going to get lots of things wrong, and that shouldn't be your baseline for I need to participate on every green day and I need to avoid every red day in between. You've got to have that approach on how you handle things on a consistent basis. That's essentially the best advice, because you're going to be wrong a lot, right? In trading, some of the best traders I know have a sub 40% win rate, sub 30% win rate, which I think you should, right? If you're optimizing risk to reward and looking for asymmetry, you shouldn't have a high win rate. So anyways, I'm starting to ramble. That's a mark for today. If there's anything I missed, let me know. Let's stay focused in the chat. Let's keep our eyes on some of these good setups and see what the market offers. I'm happy with AEHR so far. I wish I had AOI. Wish I had GLW. And what else do I wish I would have had? I'm tracking LWLG. Hope someone bought MRVL today because that was perfect, or at least has this from Thursday. And let's go do what we do, people. Adios.